You know, I've said it many, many times in my videos prior. Uh, the whole purpose of this is to try and help people, help young men, help whoever is willing to be helped. And, when it comes to the issue of driving, it's not that I think I'm the best driver in the world, but I am. It's just that, when I've been driving for so long and I've seen so many things and so many patterns and things that come and go, and I feel like I've been driving for since I was 16 years old, so I've been driving for 20 some odd years, and so I always want to try and help in any little way that I can. And so this one right here is, my years traveling, especially a lot of driving on the highway, but just driving in general. I've observed certain things, and I have a thing about people who can't drive. It's different if you're learning and things like this. I'm just meaning you can't drive. People who don't indicate. We've talked about coming on the merger, driving into the merge on ramp, and coming up the highway, using the highway, coming on the highway, using the lane right up until the end. Just little things like that. It's just, when you drive in certain ways, I mean, you're a jerk. That's all it comes down to. You're a jerk. You're inconsiderate, and by all means, I've forgotten to indicate sometimes, or I have to come all the way to the end of a lane. I get it. Happens to the best of us. I'm talking about the most consistently bad driving that you see on the roads. And there are two types of vehicles with types of people inside those vehicles. And the first one, I'm so sorry to anybody who I know who owns one of these cars, but I'm just telling you what I see and how I see it. In my experience, people who drive BMWs are the worst drivers collectively as a group on earth, at least in this city, at least in Toronto. I don't know what it is. It's so prominent. It's ridiculous. Anytime someone cuts you off, anytime you see somebody not indicating, every time you see somebody weaving in and out of traffic and things like that, it's almost always, in my experience, a BMW. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a mentality of people who own BMWs, think they can do whatever they want. They don't have to be considerate of the rules of the road. I don't know what it is. And again, I apologize to those who drive BMWs and who do so in a well, orderly, mannerly fashion. This is not directed at you. I'm talking about the general consensus of BMW drivers are absolutely horrible drivers. They're so inconsiderate, so inconsistent, so bad. It's always, inevitably, always a BMW, and something goes wrong on the road. Or you see something that's just like, just upsets you. It's always a BMW. So I'm talking like high percentage, like 70 plus percent. That might sound ridiculous to you, but it's 100% the truth. And then the second worst offenders, if I was to make a list, number two on that list would be pickup truck drivers. Oh gosh. I don't know if it's because you think you're big and bad because you have a big, nice pickup truck. They all have powerful engines, 5.7s, and they're got sport trucks, the Raptors, all those kinds of things. But pickup trucks too is just anytime you hear an engine revving is because they're up behind somebody's bumper. They're trying to get in front of people. I think they think they're driving a sport. They think they're driving a BMW. They probably want to drive a BMW, but they have a pickup truck, so they drive it like a BMW. I don't know what it is about these two groups of people, these two types of cars, and the people who own them. It is when I put the pickup truck into that equation, it doesn't just stay at 70%. I'm talking like 80, 85% of the time when somebody does something stupid on the road and just upsets me, it's almost always a BMW or a pickup truck. Again, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me. Maybe you have some input on that. I don't know what it is. I would think like Mercedes-Benz owners and things like that. Crotchrockets is another one. Oh, geez. Oh, this one hurts me because, over the past few years, crotch rockets or little motorcycle crews have grown in popularity, and they're out on the highways. There's like 20, 25 of them bobbing and weaving on the highways and things like that. This one, that's got it's between them and the pickup trucks for the second position, second and third. Honestly, if you are a motorcycle driver, you gotta drive with respect, man. I don't care how fast you can go. I don't care how small your bike is. When there's a gap of like 3 feet in between me and the next car, that's not an opening for you to go through. And when there's so many of you on the road, you have to understand that you intimidate people and you scare people. So don't be surprised if I slam on my brakes and all of a sudden you're in the back of my car. It's intimidating when you're driving with that many motorcycles on the highway and your engines are revving at high. It's so disrespectful the way that they drive. And again, this is a general consensus. This is a general population type thing. This isn't geared towards every specific driver of a BMW, a pickup truck, or motorcycles, specifically the little Ninjas and the CBRs and all of these kinds of things. Please do me a favor. If you own any of these three vehicles, please just learn how to drive.